So last year in the November budget, the government announced a pretty awful idea to cut the cash ISA allowance from £20,000 to £12,000 from April 2027 and for anyone under the age of 65. Now, what we didn't have at the time were any useful details of how it would actually work, because like every government, they just knee-jerked it out and hoped for the best. Well, the details have now arrived and there's quite a lot in it, including a brand new 22% tax, a loophole that they've deliberately left open, and confirmation that the lifetime ISA is being replaced. But let's start with cash ISAs. And when the new lower threshold was announced, most of us just thought, that's fine, we'll just use our stocks and shares ISAs as a workaround. Well, unfortunately, from April 2027, any interest on cash held inside an S&S ISA will be hit with a flat 22% charge, and your provider pays it straight to HMRC. So you don't fill in any forms, the money just disappears from your interest. And here's the strange part, okay? It's 22% for everyone, regardless of what rate of income tax you pay. Everybody pays 22%, including a higher rate taxpayer who outside an ISA actually pays 42% on savings interest above their allowance. But inside stocks and shares, for them it will be 22%. So for higher and additional rate taxpayers, this penalty is actually cheaper than the alternative, which I don't think was the headline that they were going for. But again, I think it could encourage people to move money into a stocks and shares ISA and then potentially invest as well, which is probably what they're hoping for. But seriously, I don't think people are going to fall for that. This will just be a great way to pay a little less tax for some people. And one other thing that's a little bit weird, the 22% applies to over 65s as well. So they keep their full cash ISA allowance, but any of their cash that's sat in a stocks and shares ISA is going to get charged. Here's the thing. All right, there's a deliberate carve out, and this is probably the most important thing of this video. Money market funds. Now, these are ultra low risk funds that behave almost exactly like cash. They will not be hit with the 22% charge as long as they're not 100% of your stocks and shares ISA. So in theory, you can hold even a tiny slice of an actual investment, put the rest in a money market fund, and you've recreated a cash ISA inside a stocks and shares wrapper. The fine details are still to come, and it depends on your platform actually offering money market funds. So, the likes of Hargreaves Lansdown, eToro, XTB, who I actually have an affiliate link for, which I'll put in the description box if you want to support the channel and learn more about money market funds. Check them out. If your provider offers this, it's actually a really good workaround, and it's black and white. It's not a cheat code or a hack. It's actually on the government's own fact sheets. Another new rule that I think is really quite sneaky of the government, from April 2027, ISA transfers become a one-way street. So you can still move money from a cash ISA into a stocks and shares ISA. The government would love you to do that, but you can't go back the other way. So think about what that actually means. Right now, if you've been investing and you're, say, 6 months out from buying a house, you can sell up and transfer the lot into a cash ISA completely tax-free and sit safely until you need it. But from April 2027, if you're under 65, that option's gone. Your choices become leave it as cash inside the stocks and shares ISA and hand over 22% of the interest, which is a terrible idea. Park it in a money market fund, probably wise, probably the best option you've got, or pull it out of the ISA entirely and lose the tax wrapper for good. And here's the detail most of the coverage missed. The ban only applies to under 65s. So from the start of the tax year you turn 65, you can transfer back to cash freely. So the people locked in are exactly the people most likely to need their money out of the market. Younger savers building towards a deposit. If you're investing with a deadline attached, this is definitely the change to actually plan around. Right, the other announcement, the lifetime ISA. So this is being replaced by a new first-time buyer ISA, and the consultation is now out. What we know so far is that it's for buying a first home only. No retirement option, no upper age limit, so no more being cut off at 40, and crucially, no withdrawal penalty. The bonus gets paid when you exchange on a house, not as you save. So if you pull your money out early, you just lose the bonus, not a chunk of your own cash like the LISA takes today. That's genuinely fairer. but it's not all upside because the bonus arrives at the end. It never sits in your account compounding. LISA savers earn interest on their bonuses for years. These won't. And the big stuff, the bonus rate, how much you can pay in, the property price cap, none of it has actually been announced yet. And the launch is penciled in for around, I think, April 2027 next year. And we don't actually know that much about this yet. So honestly, I think that launch date might slip a bit. And if you've already got a lifetime ISA, don't worry, it carries on indefinitely and you can still open one right now and keep the 25% bonus rolling in monthly. So what do you actually do right now? For most people, nothing really. You've still got until April 2027 to use the full 20K cash allowance. So if you're a cash saver, make the most of that while it lasts. If you're under 40 and saving for a first home, the lifetime ISA is still worth opening today. Definitely do that if you haven't already. You lose nothing by having it. And keep an eye on that money market fund loophole, because if the final rule confirms it, the cash ISA cut has a lot less bite than the headlines suggest.